That's so good. That's not playing it safe, right? Because it's easy to play it safe and just stay comfortable. And I ask the question all the time to leaders: Are you happy or are you comfortable? There's a difference in that. And you were comfortable, but you weren't happy. And now you're like, I'm so happy. This job that I never knew existed. I mean, not the role, but just the
Yeah.
job, the corporation behind it,
Yeah.
and then the role to get into that space of CEO. I can imagine there's a lot of imposter syndrome, even after going to the interview. Like, oh my God, am I going to get it? Did you get it right away? How long was it before you interviewed to getting the spot?
It was a process, right? And but I did get it, and
Right.
that's the takeaway is that
Yeah.
regardless of the process, it could be very intricate, it could be very complicated, you could have multiple steps, multiple levels. It doesn't matter. Like if it's for you, it's for you. And I felt like when I took the leap to even apply for the job, I felt comfortable enough that if I was to get it, I was going to be ready for it. And so it was
Yeah.
just a matter of navigating through whatever the interview process looked like to ultimately get that offer. And I never forget when I got the call. Like I was just like, in a way, I was like, oh my God, but in a way, I was like, yes. Like I knew that this was
Yeah.
my moment, and I can still remember that. Like,
And like you mentioned, you just gotta try.
yeah,
You just gotta go for it. So many people don't know if they don't show up.
yeah,
Show up,
yeah,
even if it didn't go your way. There was something still to learn from it. I mean, it went in your way, but that's what it looks like to take a leap in faith,
yeah,
right? Because so many people they want something, and you hear it. I'm pretty sure, Lisa. They want something, but that's all they just want it. And it's like, did you put the execution behind it? What does the plan look like? Like, there's so many steps to wanting something. You can't just want something. I have to tell my daughter all the time, you got to work for this. What do you mean?
work for it for sure.
You're bringing AI into a deeply human space, and I love it actually because I feel that while AI will never replace a human body, it does allow the human body to do what they love more of, right? So all the admin work, all the tasks that we just completely hate. Me, I hate admin.
Hmm.
Could I do it? Yes, but if somebody else wants to do it that is really good at it, I'll let them do it. Like AI, all right?
Hmm.
Um, what's been your biggest fear, but also your biggest surprise getting into this space of AI and automation, things like that?
Yeah, so especially in nonprofit space where our budgets don't always allow for us to explore things like an AI, right? Like, what does
Hmm.
that mean, right? Because our budgets, every piece of our budget goes back to the people that we serve, which is very
Hmm.
different than a for-profit organization who can set aside parts of their budget to do sort of things around AI. But at the end of the day, AI is here to stay. And so it was really important for us as a nonprofit to really understand what it is and how it could benefit us, and then to figure out a way to integrate it into our overall budget to be able to do some things with the AI space. And so we're just getting started, but we've been able to really explore the different ways that we feel like we may want to utilize it within our day to day operations at Rising Ground and how it could benefit us both on the operations side and the program side. And so we're still, I would say, in the exploratory phases of it, but we definitely see the benefits and we will definitely be working toward integrating it in various ways throughout our organization, for sure.
I love that. And you said so many different ways of AI, right? And happening, wanting to help the inside and the outside of the organization. What would that look like for you? Say that you had a magic wand and you're able to build this AI tool itself. Where would you like to really make the biggest impact?
Yeah, so our work in a nonprofit is very challenging, and it's challenging sometimes working with the people that we serve because they come with all of their different traumas and they come with different challenges, and they're bringing that into Rising Ground for us to be able to help them. So to be able to utilize it in different ways to take away, you talked about administrative tasks, different things that our staff currently do, that if we had AI to be able to make it easier for them to maybe write that memo for them or that email so that they don't have to necessarily spend time typing it out, would be definitely ways that we would love to utilize it. I think just thinking about the HR space alone and how we integrate and do different things with our staff, I think our HR department is definitely looking at ways to be more efficient, and I think AI could absolutely help us with that. So there's lots of things on the HR side for sure. But I also think on the programmatic side, so that's the folks that are deeply working with our person supported every day, there's lots of different ways that they could be using it as well, whether it's administratively, whether it's working with our clinical teams. So any way that we can make our life easier, especially because we're so challenged at times with working with the person supported, I think is where we will see the most benefit, and that is why we've decided as an organization that we're exploring it to see what it can offer and what it can do for us.
hmm hmm Do you find it difficult a little bit? I think a lot of organizations are find it difficult because we all want the AI. We want our jobs to be a little easier and better for us, but there's also the funding, cuts and the fear that's happening. So people's like, I want AI. Some people almost kind of forced into it a little bit, I would say, because they had to cut maybe a body and they're trying to replace that body by technology.
Mhm.
Still, someone has to. That's why I say it will never replace a human. A human still has to prompt it and tell it what to do in a
Yeah.
sense. Um, but do you feel that's also affecting your organization and other organizations when it comes to wanting to innovate, but just funding being cut at the wrong time?
Yeah, I mean, and not only just now, but that's always a challenge for a nonprofit because, like I said,
Hmm.
everything goes back to our person supported. We don't make revenue in the same way that a for-profit organization does, and so being able to prioritize what we want to spend our money on to be able to continue to run as an organization is a challenge that every nonprofit goes through, irregardless
Hmm.
of what administration is happening in the White House right now. And so I think it's really important for us. Like I said, we definitely see the value in it though. And so we don't want to get passed by, right? It's not going away. So it's important for us to kind of roll our sleeves up, get educated on what it can do, figure out the ways that it can help us, and utilize it wherever we can. And I think that's what we're trying to do right now.
Yeah, the education piece is everything,
Yeah.
right? Just educate yourself on it. A lot of people living in fear, but going back to just never tried it,
Yeah.
never even took the step to execute it. So I love that you mentioned that. Do you recall a leadership failure or feedback moment that today probably still stings a little bit when you think about it, but truly shaped you?
Yeah. I mean, I've failed many a time.
Yes, talk about it.
Definitely for sure. I can think about times in my career. I always would come from a place of yes. So someone would ask me to do a project, and I would say yes. Do you want to be on this committee? Yes, because I was so hungry for wanting to gain as much experience as I could, because gaining that experience would help me navigate and move up the ladder of what I consider success.
Hmm.
And so that was always really important to me. And then one time I had a supervisor to say, and it stung a little bit when she said it. She was basically like, you can't always come from a place of yes, because sometimes you will then fill your tank with so many projects and so many initiatives and so many things going on that you won't be able to prioritize or do them as well as you want to because you have so much going on. And I was like, but no, but I love doing all this stuff and I like being busy and I like having all these initiatives around me and working on different projects. And she's like, I know. And she's like, you're amazing at what you do, but you don't want to fall in that rut where you have so much going on that you're not doing things as well as you want to. And I remember being like, okay, all right, I guess I get the feedback. And I definitely went home and was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But when I thought back on it, she's absolutely right. It's all about prioritization, being able to delegate tasks, and not feeling the overwhelming like weight on your shoulders to always feel like you have to say yes to everything. It's okay to say
Hmm.
no, and it doesn't belittle you as a person, or it doesn't make you seem like, because I guess I feared that people would think like I'm not as good as I want to be, or if I can't handle all these projects at one time, that makes me less than or less of a leader. And it actually makes you a better leader to be able to delegate and be able to say no. You have enough. I have enough projects going on right now. I don't need to add another one. And that's something that I think our leaders really, when you master that, then that's where real success comes, because you're able to do
Hmm.
projects really, really well instead of overwhelming yourself with so many.